call at 824-8007 for all your title work needs.
WTIM. This is the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kama, and I don't know about you, but I always love hearing about what's going on at Lincoln Land Community College, both in Taylorville and throughout the school in general. So here to talk about all of that and much more is Elizabeth Fines-Workman, the director of Lincoln Land Community College's Taylorville campus. Elizabeth, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Reed. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I know it's good to talk to you. Good to hear about what's going on at LLCC. And we start with something that's coming up today, if I'm not mistaken, is the campus visit day. Talk to our listeners about what they can expect if they end up there.
Yeah, so we're having a campus visit day on main campus. So that would be our campus in Springfield today. They're going to be offering different tours of all the buildings. You can talk about services that we offer. You can talk to some faculty and staff that are there. You can discuss financial aid. The recruitment department will be there. So all sorts of things happening on main campus on President's Day. So
nice. So you got the holiday visit coming up there, or campus visit day, and I know that's a valuable opportunity for folks, really just to see the campus, see if they can see themselves on the campus. I've done a campus visit or two, or like 10 of them, but but no, that's a valuable opportunity for them. And in terms of what you folks hear from the students, like what kinds of questions do they typically ask? I mean, obviously you don't have to mention the questions themselves, but like, the general topics.
Yeah. Most of the time folks just want to know, there's some interesting ones, like what kind of food do we have on campus, right? Which I'm always interested in myself. I attended SIU Carbondale, and that was one of the first things that I looked at was the student center and, did they have a Chick-fil-A? So that's always important things. But no, most of the time students want to know what kind of classes they can take. Especially if they come to our campus, Taylorville's campus, they want to know what kind of classes we offer. A lot of times financial aid folks are pretty busy getting that all set up. And they want to know if they had classes here, where they would be, right? Like what classroom they would be in, what building they would be in. A lot of times the student success folks, including myself, will talk about the different classes that they should be enrolled in for their major or shouldn't be enrolled in. So all kinds of questions asked for sure at these.
Yeah, and so that'll be the opportunity to do that. So you've got the campus visit day today. When's the next one?
I'm not honestly sure when the next one is, but it'll probably be in the fall sometime. Okay. So you'll have to wait a few minutes to get back on that one. But You can always call for just private tours and things like that. Folks will absolutely do that for you.
Okay, nice. So still plenty of ways to learn more about what to expect at Lincoln Land Community College. Now, you talked about courses. You've got your summer class registration, so that opens this week. I think we were talking. It opens on Wednesday. Is it?
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. So talk about maybe why students might think about taking summer courses.
Yeah. So I think that summer courses are a great idea. This semester, I have a lot of high school students that are kind of wanting to get ahead of their college careers. So they are taking some summer courses. So I think that that's great. Traditional, non-traditional students also choose to do summer courses because they are a shorter span. So instead of 16 weeks, they'll be 8 weeks. So a lot of folks like to just knock those out real quick in the summer, which I think is a great idea as well. And as far as summer classes that we are offering at Lincoln Land Taylorville this semester, this is, we're having general biology, microbiology, public speaking taught by yours truly. And as always, we're going to have our CNA classes open, and we're going to also offer a psychology class. So those are some of the classes that we offer in Taylorville this summer. But obviously, there's main campus has classes going, as well as online classes that students can take. And if anybody out there wants to look up some of those classes and where they're offered at, you just have to go to llcc.edu, and we have like a course catalog, and you can just filter it through there. So they make it pretty easy to find out when these classes are offered and what classes are offered.
Nice. Well, it's good that they make it easy. I guess what I'm interested in, right? So you have your summer classes, and they take place in about half the time you said that they do in the normal semester. What have you seen in terms of the success rates of students in summer classes compared to ones in the fall or spring semester?
Yeah, I think they're still very successful. We have what's called module classes. So those are shorter too. So a lot of times, and those will be throughout the semester. So a lot of times students who already take those mod classes, they feel comfortable with the flow of the class. So they do very well. And even if not, I mean, these faculty know what they're doing, right? They're good at their jobs, so they get students through it. And a lot of times students like the more fast pace, because then you're not bored or anything. You're just ready to rock. So I think it's a really good opportunity for students to take these summer courses.
Yeah, so hopefully you'll get a good enrollment from there. Now, you've got another speaking engagement this week, Elizabeth. You've got the Kiwanis Club this coming week. What kinds of updates or messages or anything like that are you planning on sharing over there?
Yeah, so the Kiwanis Club reached out, and I'm going to talk to them. I probably, honestly, am going to talk about, mainly the most important thing. Just kidding. But I'm going to talk about myself a little bit, introduce myself, right? I'm going to talk about some Lincoln Land things, what kind of classes we offer, kind of what we're doing out there. I always like to offer our space out for any clubs or anything if they have to hold meetings. Lincoln Land Taylorville is always really jazzed up to do that for folks. And also, I found out from my mom and dad that my father used to be Mr. Peanut, which apparently was a Kiwanis thing, like you sell the most or whatever. So I'll probably bring that up, and I'm sure my father will absolutely love that, right? So yeah, I'm excited to talk to the Kiwanis Club. They're gonna hear plenty about Lincoln Land. Let's put it that way.
And it sounds like they know you pretty well through the connection you discussed, and then I think you had grown up here originally. Is that true? Okay.
Yep, that's true. So I did grow up here. I am familiar with the Kiwanis Club. I think they're probably more familiar with my family, right, than me. But either way,
yeah. But then some of the names there. Well, I'm sure. So you've got that coming up as well. So the Kiwanis Club. Anything else you want to add about either that or the summer classes or anything that we've discussed so far?
For the summer classes, I would just circle back and let everybody know that on February 18th, right, Wednesday, that is whenever our summer class registration will open. So if you want to register for summer courses, especially if you're in Taylorville, Nokomis, Morrisonville, South Fork, Edinburgh, you can go ahead and just shoot an email to us in Taylorville, or you can give us a call and we can start that process really quickly. So
how quickly do those typically fill up?
Depends on the course, right? So some courses they only offer in the summer. So those will go quick, right? In more of your gen ed classes, kind of like what we offer at Taylorville Lincoln Land, those don't fill up as quickly, but they will fill. So always better to get on it quickly.
Yeah. How about like your public speaking class? I mean, you probably see the numbers. How quickly does that fill up?
So I'm not going to lie to you, Reed. I'm pretty popular. So
okay, no, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my public speaking class normally fills. We normally have a bit of a wait list as well. In the summertime, I don't see it fill as quickly. But during the regular semester, those are filled quick. So yeah, no, always try and get on that.
Yeah, no, I bet many folks will be with summer classes. And again, the course registration starts on Wednesday for those summer classes. Well, I've been speaking with Elizabeth Fines-Workman, the director of Lincoln Land Community College's Taylorville campus. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation. We'll talk about another big event coming up, and I'm sure much more right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Markets now, the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. No trading on this President's Day. Closing numbers from last Friday. Corn steady, beans lower, wheat finishing lower. March corn closing 431 3/4, up half a penny. May corn up 1/4, 442. December new crop 464 1/2, up half a penny. March beans closing 1133, down 4 1/4. May beans down 3 3/4, 1148 1/2. November new crop 1113 1/2, down 2 3/4. March Chicago wheat, 548 3/4, down 3 3/4. July wheat, down 9.5, 557. March bean meal, 309.20, up $1.30. March bean oil, 57.08, down 46 cents. Livestock trade from Friday. March feeders, 366.15, up 42 cents. February live cattle up 57 cents, 243.07. February lean hogs, 86.95, up 20 cents. Trading resumes on Tuesday. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Find out all the great things happening in the Pana area on the WTIM Pana Morning Show, Tuesdays from 8:40 till 10. You'll hear interviews with Pana area community, nonprofit, and business leaders each week. The WTIM Pana Morning Show is brought to you by these sponsors.
Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, and Okanee Chop Shop.
Do something nice for your future self and establish with a primary care provider. Here's Dr. Pavi Gill with Springfield Clinic, Taylorville.
At Springfield Clinic, Taylorville, all physicians and advanced practice providers are welcoming new patients. We are here and ready to take care of your healthcare needs from newborn to geriatric.
Call Springfield Clinic, Taylorville today at 217-287-8855 to schedule your appointment now.
Hi, I'm Mark Sanders, and I'm your longtime host, interviewing Shelbyville and Shelby County community and business leaders every week. For some 10 years, WTIM, your information station, has originated its Friday morning show live from our downtown Shelbyville studios. Tune in on AM or FM or online every Friday from 8:40 to 10, brought to you by these great sponsors.
The Sarah Bush Lincoln Shelbyville Clinic and its network of specialists throughout Central Illinois is proud to be the title sponsor of the WTIM Shelbyville Morning Show each week.
CTI is the only internet company that offers no data caps and limitless data for limitless possibilities. They're your local internet provider. Sign up by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM AM, FM, and online on the WTIM mobile app and Amazon Alexa is your ag information station with over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming and our own local farm broadcaster. Tune in to WTIM, your ag information station.
WTIM.
And welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and Elizabeth Fines-Workman, the director of Lincoln Land Community College, Taylorville, is joining me. We spent some time in the first segment talking about the campus visit day that's happening today, summer class registration, and her visit to the Kiwanis Club this week. Now, Elizabeth, you've got a big week because, well, of course, you're on our show right now. You talked to the Kiwanis Club on Tuesday. You've got the summer class registration, including for your public speaking class on Wednesday. And then on Friday, you're welcoming in some 8th graders to the campus. Talk a little bit more about that and what those 8th graders can expect.
Yeah. So whenever I first applied for this job, I kind of came up with this event, right? So it's basically like, it's a mixture for 8th graders of career exploration and just to try and get them out onto our campus, right? I think that whenever I was in 8th grade, the thought of college was scary, right? The unknown kind of. And I think that, it's a great idea for these 8th graders to just get a little idea of what college is like, right? Especially at our campus, Taylorville is, we're lucky to have a college campus right here, right? Yeah. You can get to it within 15 minutes all over the place. So I think it's great. And so luckily, we are going to have this event that I created, which I am very proud of. So I'm really fingers crossing that it goes well, Reed. Yeah. But essentially we're going to have South Fork 8th graders and Morrisonville 8th graders are going to be at our location. We're going to start off with some icebreaker things, right? I actually learned this from my boss at Lincoln Land in Springfield. She does this like rock, paper, scissors game. And then everybody has to do it. Like you just play with all the people around you and then you just keep playing, like the winner keeps playing, right? Okay. And then you have 2 at the end and whoever wins is like the winner of the day. It's just kind of a fun little icebreaker thing. It's easy, and I mean, we got jazzed up about it in our meetings. So I can only imagine the 8th graders, right? Yeah. I was one of the last 2 and I lost on paper. So still bitter about that, but here we are. And then we're going to do some tours, right? So we're going to divide students up. We're going to show them all the rooms. Our police officers from main campus will be here. We have a therapy dog named Ember, and she will be down on our campus. So anytime Ember's down there, it's always a good day. We're also going to do some mini lectures, this is the part that I think is going to be super beneficial for students. So we're going to have folks from the healthcare professions. So they're going to come in and do anything from showing them how to take their blood pressure to we have like this fake lung thing that students can interact with. We're going to have the biology department, and that instructor told me she is going to do something that's fun and interactive. So that's all I care about, right? That sounds good to me. Respiratory care is going to be there, an instructor from that. We have our truck driver training folks that are going to be there. So that's exciting. The ag department, construction, commercial electrical maintenance, and then our workforce folks are going to be there as well, some recruiters. So they're basically going to get like 15 to 20 minutes with each of these folks, each of these faculty members. So not only are they getting that hands-on experience of maybe some different career exploration that they'd like to do, but they're also getting to talk directly to faculty of a community college, right? Which I think is incredible. Faculty are extremely busy, and for them to take time out of their days to come, help me with this 8th grade event means the world to me. And I think that we have a very large, diverse, mini lectures that we're going to be doing here. So I think that that'll be awesome for students. So after the mini lectures, we're going to do, this is one of the things I'm also excited for. I'm excited for the whole thing, Reed. Let's be honest, but here we go.
Exactly.
We're going to do a Q&A with students. So essentially I have asked 3 students who are all in my public speaking classes in previous years. So they're going to, just do a Q&A with the students, just anything that they want to know. I'll probably put in a few questions myself that, they may not even know that they need to know yet. Right.
Maybe write it with your recessive hand. So
yes,
it looks like it came from the 8th grader.
Exactly. That's exactly what I will do.
But go on.
Yes. No. And so the students that I've picked are wonderful students. They represent Lincoln Land very well throughout the college. So I'm excited and jazzed that they'll be there for that. And I think that those students are also going to kind of help me throughout the day. I think it helps 8th graders to see someone, probably closer to their age and an actual student to get the 411 on Lincoln Land. And then, after that, we'll say a few goodbyes, and I'll probably try and say something classy and inspirational and, see how it works. But we're really excited for this. We're having, my plan is to each semester host a new school, right? So some schools we can combine, but like Taylorville Junior High, I assume that we would just have to, either break it up into a couple days or, whatnot, because they have quite a few students there. But that's my 8th grade event. I think it'll be great for the students to kind of just scratch the surface of finding out what college is, and finding that it's not intimidating or scary, that it's awesome place to flourish, especially at Lincoln Land Community College.
That's the most important part. And with about 1 minute left, one of the things that stands out to me is it seems like these campus visit days are something that for 8th graders and the general campus visit days, but these visits by 8th grade classes are something that benefits everyone, right? Because you folks in the administration get the chance to kind of attract students to your school. Your public speaking students get the chance to speak publicly. And then the students themselves, the 8th graders, they get to see what college is like. They get to see, what there is to be excited about if they're as excited as I was at that point, or, if they were nervous, like I know you've talked about. then they see for themselves, and maybe quash some myths about college or about that sort of thing. So really looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about it when you're on next time. Elizabeth Fines Workman, the director of Lincoln Land Community College Taylorville. Elizabeth, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me, Reed. Always a pleasure.
No, it is such a pleasure to have you on, and thank you for listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. Have a good day.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 FM Taylorville, 107.5.